Well, here we go again. We have another anime going to be released very soon. And of course, Twitter, the insane nut job, and I call them nut jobs because basically they have nothing better to do on the internet but to criticize anime, similar to Matt Walsh and several others on their site that have said, they said anime is satanic and this and that. Yeah, and you had one other reporter claiming that anime plus furrycons is a gateway to pedophilia.
Room, so you can watch room.dailycaller.com, and it really touches on the subject of anime and the role that anime plays in grooming children. So you start with anime, you start with this cute furrycon stuff, and it really does provide a gateway drug on kids to be entering into this space where they can be ultimately groomed sexually, and it's incredibly disturbing. And while this may look like something that's cute and fun and pointless, we at the Daily Caller went to some of these conventions, and this is a rife space for grooming kids with this transgender ideology, and it should be for 18 because it isn't just inherently sexual in its nature, no matter how it's portrayed in the media.
Yeah, and it's,
I don't know what, and I heard her say, well, we've been to a convention. Which convention are you talking about? Are you talking about an anime convention or a furrycon convention? I myself have never been to a furrycon convention. I've had friends that have gone. I've never heard situations of that nature. And I've been to anime conventions. I've been to Comic-Cons. I've never heard of this. Now, recently, there are LGBTQ panels that have been appearing in some of the Comic-Cons. Yes, that is going on, but that is separate outside the situation at these anime cons and Comic-Cons. But what we got here is another anime that is being criticized for the characters that they have, that either the character is too sexy or that the character looks like a child. Now, here's the one that's going to blow you out of the water, because basically what they've done on Twitter is that they've insulted a group of people. And we're talking people that have the height below 5'4". Because the main character in this series is very short and not a child. But before we get into this, I just wanted to take this moment to thank all of you for clicking on this video. If you haven't yet, hit that like, share this video with friends, family, enemies, and hopefully today I've earned your subscription. And for those of you already subscribed, please make sure you are still subscribed, as YouTube tends to remove subscriptions from time to time. And remember, if you wish to help support this channel, there are several links in the description below, including a merch shop with new anime-themed shirts and mugs now available. Once again, thank you for your support, and make sure you hit that notification bell to make sure you receive all our notifications on Cuticast TV and all of our programming across all of our social media platforms. Thank you once again. Bounding into Comics article, Western critics outraged that the upcoming rom-com anime My Tiny Senpai dares to appeal to male audiences. In the wave of outrage reminiscent of those faced by previous rom-com series as Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro, Yuki-san-chan Wants to Hang Out, Western critics have whipped themselves into a frenzy over the fact that male audiences are a major target audience for the upcoming My Tiny Senpai. Based on the titular manga by female Magazine Saiso, and set to be produced by Love After World Domination Studio Project Number 9, My Tiny Senpai follows the story of Takayuma Shinzaki, a fledgling office worker who finds himself under the wing of his senior co-worker Shiori Katsi, Though Shiori claims that her attention to Takayumi development is part of her duties as well senior, the adorable short stack slowly finds that her work has become, and maybe was all along, nothing more than an excuse for her to interact with the object of her affections. Unsurprisingly, the mere fact that the series dared to feature a story that could be classified as a male fantasy was enough to draw the ire of Western critics, many of whom took to social media in the wake of My Tiny Senpai's trailer debut to voice their outrage and let loose their use of brand of misandry. Sharing a screen cap of the angry Uzi choking Umiyo taken from the 26 episodes of the original Sailor Moon series, you're telling me that they're letting shoujo die just so they can pump out more soulless, plotless, bare bones wish fulfillment catered to men with increasingly specific fetishes every season. You could call this good representation for short women with big boobs all you want. You know in good faith that these people are making and watching this do not give a fuck about actual women. They continued, this is entirely made for people who frequently with the lolly. See, there you go. They're trying to compare this to lolly. All right? Here's the situation. If you go to Japan, the average height of a woman in Japan, or a young girl, is about 5'2" to about 5'4". There's a lot of short girls out there. And you got to remember, there's also, I don't know what they call it nowadays, midgets, little people, however you want to call it, you have that as well. In fact, we have one on Lila Hart, the comedian, on YouTube that is on many of the other shows that we have on YouTube, other content creators. Lila has, short girl, very funny, she's short, but, the thing about it is, people are like, oh no, she looks like a child. This is the thought process that these guys are thinking. More and more, I keep thinking that basically these guys are the actual pervs. Because they keep pointing these things out. And the thing about it is, they're totally wrong. Also, I know pretty much every anime is wish fulfillment to some degree at it. This has been just a pretty huge imbalance of being more targeted at loser guys compared to loser girls. Likewise, at Korei Bleeded, a romance is targeted at men when the girl's mostly distinct personality traits is being short, stubborn, with a short temper, and having boobs. Dismissing the series' entire premise just because it features small women, that will probably be cute, according to Cold Flame 96 asserted. It's clearly meant to be a fetish. Why can't straight men be with normal women for once? Because basically, let me tell you something about life. If you haven't meant in your mind that you want the supermodel, the perfect woman on there, women and men come in all shapes and sizes. And the same people that are complaining on here are the same people that are going like, well, there's not enough fat women in cartoons and comic books and in anime. We don't have enough fat superheroes. This is the same people throwing out this crap. When these corporate companies try to appease them, you'll never get to appease these people because they will continue it. They just want attention. Some even took steps further and began claiming that since Shiori is under 5'5", and thanks to the series' anime art style bears a childlike appearance, she's minor coded. Thus, anyone who was attracted to them is being a pedophile, as you can see. Short business women exist. We know damn fucking well. Why are you all actually watching this garbage? Whined Yuri Fangs. I like short women, but I like it when they're not reduced to short, acts childish, would be confused for an 11-year-old, but she's got massive breasts, so she's not a child. You have to understand, this is the style of Japanese anime. It is a comedy. It's a rom-com. It's going to show characters in a romantic and comedic light constantly. You've seen some of the American movies, how crazy some of them, have been for quite some time. And they've shown girls and guys in very weird parameters. I love that you never see a woman, she replies, defending the degenerate pedophile bait filth like women insulted Shinomas, my goat, just shrink preteens to normal or something. And that's some of the things that's been going on with this. If you look at what they've just been saying about this and understand this, the person who wrote this, the person who wrote My Tiny Senpai is a woman. Okay? Understand this. This is not a guy who's sitting there, you say like, oh, look, this is a woman. A lot of the mangakas out there are written by women. Full Metal Alchemist was written by a woman. Okay? They get this in their mind that there's guys out there that are being, very sexist and stuff like that. No, it's creating a story. If you remember the whole situation with Uzaki-chan, they were like saying with Uzaki that, 19 year, there are no such thing as 19-year-old girls with large breasts like that look like her. There are. Go to a college, okay? Hang out somewhere where there are a lot of young people between 18 and 21. You will see this type of framework. You don't need to say, well, it's exaggerated. Sometimes the anime does exaggerate some of the features, but on the average, when you look at the general design nature, they get it from somewhere. It's not something that comes out of their mind. They're looking for a particular style, and they're influenced by people on the street daily. This happens, okay? It's nothing new. When you look back at the controversy of Redo the Healer, if you remember that, that whole series, which we're still waiting for a season 2. I'm interested there's going to be a season 2 on that. But if you look at the amount of viewership, you will find that basically there's a lot of women who watched this series. Surprise, surprise. They're calling out people as being pedophiles. They said they watch anime, but a good chunk of women watch these anime. Do you know why? Because there's something out there for everyone. There are plenty of anime out there. Everything from sports to camping to cooking to action adventure to romance comedy. They're all variations out there. Even in the gay community, there are certain ones that are gay. There are trans characters. Even though there are those out there on Twitter claiming this one's trans, that one trans, not realizing that there are trans characters in certain series. You don't have to say, well, this one's trans. I know she's trans and all that, and the character is not trans, but there are in other series. And you have to understand that. They're not left out. Nobody is left out. They always say, we got to break that ceiling. We got to break that ceiling. We got to make it for the modern era. Bullshit. For the reason is anime is anime. It has been around. Hey, anime was around when I was a kid. I'm 56 years old. I started watching anime in the late 1970s. And yes, we had a lot of the stuff that you watch today. We had it back then. We had harems, harem animes, just like Tenchi Muyo. If you ever saw Tenchi Muyo, which is one of the great anime series out there, if you haven't seen it yet, not the current ones, the original ones like Tenchi in Tokyo and all that whole series, go catch that. It is a really good action rom-com. You can call it a rom-com, in a way. but it is really, really well done. You know, this is something that was on Toonami, on there. And, you know, you have plenty of others that have been there for many years. Yes, there's stuff that is over the top, that there is sex in it, that basically there's a lot of blood and gore and stuff like that. What's the difference between that and what Hollywood produces for decades now? You tell me. So tell me in the comments below your thoughts to this situation. I mean, we've been trying to write this for quite some time now. We just haven't found the right article. Finally, someone, you know, of course, waiting for Bounding Into Comics, that the critics on there, that they're slamming this. And it's always the West. You don't hear anyone from South America. You don't hear anyone from Japan really, truly criticizing this. You know why? Because they like to enjoy it. And then those of us here in the West, in the United States, that enjoy anime. You know, we look at it for the stories, not for basically the politics that people try to infuse into this. You know, I've always said, if you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. No one's twisting your arm. So, share this video, hit the like, notification bell, and hopefully today's the day I've earned your subscription. So until next time, thank you for clicking on the video, and have a good week. We got another one coming out, another video today, so be sure to stay tuned for that as well. Bye-bye now.